Always something interesting in the new bin. First up on Blue Note Records, this is Blue Brazil. Blue Note in a Latin Groove. This came out in 1998. This is volume 1. There's 3 volumes. Not traditional Blue Note jazz artists on this. There's no Kenny Dorham or Hank Mobley. This is Brazilian artists from Italian and Brazilian music vaults who I guess they had cross-licensing deals with. None of these records ever came out originally on Blue Note Records. This is bossa nova, samba, jazzy Brazilian popular music. This collection with, it's got a lot of rare tracks and artists, some artists I don't know. If Stan Getz and the records he put out are at the most popular end of the spectrum of Brazilian jazz, this is a deep dive for serious Brazilian jazz fans and an excellent choice. Good luck finding it. I mean, it came out in '98, didn't sell millions of copies, so at this point, you're going to have to look at Discogs and potentially buy it from Europe. Well worth having, as are Volume 2 and Volume 3. Next up, Bartok, and that is a great album cover, isn't it? I love Bartok. I like Stravinsky. I like more of the edgy classical composers more than Beethoven and Mozart, who are great in their own right. It's just a little sleepy for me at times. Bartok's music, well, this is also Fritz Reiner conducting and Chicago Symphony Orchestra performing, which are two important components when you're talking about classical music, not just the composer, but who conducted it and what symphony. Bartok's music blends Hungarian, Eastern, folk music with more modern techniques like dissonance and cluster chords and complex rhythm patterns. This record came out in '65, but the piece was composed in 1943, and this is one of his best-known pieces. Again, if you're looking for something adventurous, you can't go wrong with Bartok, or Stravinsky for that matter. Next up, Pee Wee King. Rompin, Stompin, Singin, and Swingin. Bear Family releases collection of early Pee Wee King stuff. Traditional country, this is western swing. In traditional country and early rock and roll, you're going to hear accordion, you're going to hear steel guitar. This is fantastic stuff. And for early country, this is party music, early country party music. He also co-wrote Tennessee Waltz, #1. He was one of the first to introduce unions to the musicians at the Grand Ole Opry and the first to carry a union card. His band was one of the first bands to dance on stage. I guess the country artists before him kind of stood still and played a little somber. They danced, and a guy named Nudie Cohn customized these suits with rhinestones all over them that became later known as nudie suits that Pee Wee King and his group are the first to wear and dance around on stage, popularizing the nudie suit for other country and western artists and Elvis, who loved them. So there you go. This is fun stuff, and I know about it because it's on Bear Family Records. I've mentioned Bear Family before, German reissue label, been around for decades. And my first exposure to Bear Family is when I went to 4th and Broadway at Tower Records back in the late 80s, and I saw a Hank Snow box set. It was like 8 CD, an obscure old, probably not obscure at the time, but now kind of obscure old country artist. And I thought, who is going to spend the money for an 8 CD box set? And then I noticed there were 2 others, Volume 2 and Volume 3, each 8 and 9 CD. What kind of maniac company puts out this exhaustively extensive recorded output, and who's going to buy it? So if you like roots music, Google Bear Family and dig in. I mean, here's a point. I burned this from a friend of mine decades ago. He bought Pee Wee King 6-volume, 6 CD box set, and I burned and put in these slipcases decades ago. A 6 CD box set of Pee Wee King. So Bear Family dives deep if you like roots music. And finally, Ananda Shankar and his music is the name of the album. Came out in 1976. Indian sitar player and composer. He combines Western and Eastern music styles. This album is a combination of psychedelic sitar funk and traditional Indian classical music. A big hit. It was kind of a club hit, minor club hit in the mid to late 70s. Streets of Calcutta. You might or might not have heard it. If the soundtrack to Bullet, the Steve McQueen movie Bullet, and the car chases were all filmed in Bombay, Streets of Calcutta would definitely be part of the soundtrack. That's it. Thank you.